Okay, we want to find the standard equation of an ellipse having this information: foci at 0, 1, and 4, 1, and a major axis length of 6. So if we were to quickly sketch this, okay, 0, 1, 4, 1, let's call this 4, and a major axis length of 6. So that would mean that our major axis has to be horizontal because it has to connect our foci, and we're going to look something like this. Okay. We've got a horizontal situation here. So what we're going to try to do is find the values of all of the pieces of the equation of an ellipse. Now, just to recall, an ellipse with a horizontal um, major axis has an equation of x minus h squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared. Remember, b is the minor axis, and that equals 1. Okay, so now we need to figure out some of these values. Well, we can easily figure out the center. Okay, the center has to be right here. It's midway between the two vertices. I'm sorry, between the two foci that we have. Okay, so we have 0, 1, and 4, 1, with the midpoint between those. Okay, and the midpoint formula means just take the average. 0, the x-coordinate is going to be 0 plus 4 divided by 2, and the y-coordinate is going to be the sum of the y's, 1 plus 1 divided by 2, and that gives you 2 divided by 2 is, 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. So this is our center. Okay. So the distance from the center to either of the foci, that is our C value. Okay, so from this we could determine that C is equal to, okay, let's pick this point. The x value is 4 minus the x value of the center is 2. So our C value is just plain old 2. Okay. Now, to get A, okay, the A is half of the length of the major axis. Okay. Well, the major axis goes from the center to this vertex. We also know from the problem the major axis length is 6. Okay, so we know that 2 times A is equal to 6, which leads us to A being 3. Okay. Now we want to find out C. Okay. So, by the way, from the center, we know that this is H and this is K. Okay, so far we have H, K, A, and C. We need B, and I'm going to do it over here. B is going to be determined from C squared equals A squared minus B squared. And if we solve that out for B, we're going to get B squared equals A squared minus C squared, and B equals the square root of A squared minus C squared. Well, we know what those are. Square root of A squared, well, A is over here, A is 3, so A squared is 9, minus C squared, C is 2, squared is 4, so B equals the square root of 5. So let's go ahead and put these into our formula for an ellipse. Okay, we know that we have x minus h is 2 from over here, quantity squared, divided by a squared. It's going to be 9, 3 squared, plus y minus k squared over b squared. Well, b squared is going to be just 5, right? Square root of 5 squared is 5. That equals 1. That is the equation of our ellipse. Okay, so all we did is we worked with a formula and we worked with some of the properties to figure out all of the different values in the formula. Okay, we want to sketch the graph of this ellipse, and we're told it's an ellipse, so we'll trust them. But we need to organize this. We need to get it into the format that looks like the equation of an ellipse that we've been working with. In order to do that, what we're going to do is group the terms. We're going to take the x's and get them together and the y's and get them together. So, and I'm going to move the constant off to the right side. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start over here. The first thing I'm going to do is say we've got x squared plus 6x, and I'm going to leave a space, plus 4y squared minus 8y. Okay, so I just moved things around a little bit, and now I'm going to take this plus 9 on this side, and I'm going to say that's equal to negative 9. The reason I did that is that what I want to do is I want to complete the square on both of these pieces of my equation. Okay, well, before I can complete the square on y, I need to factor out the 4. Okay, but I can complete the square on x. So to complete the square here, I need to add b over 2 quantity squared. Okay, well, b is 6, so 6 over 2 is 3. 3 squared is 9. So this is going to become x squared plus 6x plus 9. I'm going to factor the 4 out from my y terms. Leave it like that. Now I'm going to complete the square on what's inside the parentheses here. Okay, so my b is negative 2. Negative 2 over 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. So let's rewrite this as x squared plus 6x plus 9 plus 4 times y squared minus 2y plus 1, okay, equals negative 9. Now, what we've done here is erroneous in that we have added 9 and added 4 times 1. Okay, so I need to do that to the other side. I need to add 9 and add 4 times 1, or 4. Now what I could do is break these down. Okay, this is now a perfect square. I added the 9 in order to make this a perfect square. So I could express this as x plus 3 quantity squared plus 4 times, and the same thing with y, it's going to be y minus 1 quantity squared equals, and simplifying this, I just get 4. Now I'm going to divide out this 4, because this 4 isn't part of my standard form of the equation of an ellipse, so I'm going to divide everything by 4, and I'm going to get x plus 3 squared divided by 4 plus, dividing this by 4 just cancels the 4s, so I get y minus 1 squared, and I'm going to put a denominator in of 1 just so it looks like the equation properly, equals 4 divided by 4 is 1. Okay. So that is the equation of our ellipse. Okay. In standard form, because we usually have it divided by a squared and b squared, we could say that this is x plus 3 squared divided by 2 squared plus y minus 1 squared divided by 1 squared equals 1, if you prefer that. Okay. Now we need to figure out all of our values. Well, the center is hk. Okay, so h is determined by whatever is subtracted from x. Here it's negative 3 is subtracted from x, so h is negative 3. K is whatever is subtracted from y, which is 1. A and b. A is always the bigger one, so this is a. This 2 squared, or a, is 2. Okay, that is going to be for our major axis, and because it is under the x, we have a horizontal major axis. We're going to get b from here. B squared is 1 squared, so b equals 1. Okay. And I think that's enough information to allow us to sketch this ellipse. So I'm going to draw coordinate axes. And we're going to start with the center. Our center is HK, which is going to be negative 3, 1, which let's say that's negative 3, and that's 1. So that there is our center at negative 3, 1. And we know that A is 2, so it goes 2 units to the right, which is going to bring us here to negative 1, and 2 units to the left, that's negative 5. Those are our vertices, so that's where the ellipse ends. So that's how far left and right it goes. How high up and down it goes? Well, B tells us how far up and down. B is half the length of our minor axis, so we go up to 1 unit. Okay, and that point would have coordinates negative 3, 2. And we're going to go down 1 unit, and this point has coordinates negative 3, 0. Okay, and then we can just sketch in our ellipse. It's just going to connect these points. Okay, I'm no artist, but that is my sketch.